Excuse me, but is this a Miss Aubrey Anderson?
Huh? Who are you? Are you trying to hit on me?
No. I'm the husband of the victim of the accident you caused the other day. My name's Isaac Robbins, and my wife's name is Matilda Robbins. Don't pretend you don't remember.
Oh yeah, I do remember now. It just came back to me, lol. What do you want?
Not what do you want. How do you plan on making up for what you did? In spite of the serious fact you ran my wife over and caused her a very serious injury, you've been ignoring all of my phone calls and actually had the nerve to block me. Luckily, I was able to find your Messenger account using your phone number, which is how I'm speaking with you now.
So, those phone calls were about the accident, lol, whoopsie. I thought you were some kind of creep stalker, so I blocked your number. Although, it is kind of creepy that you would go out of your way to look up my Messenger account. That's really weird, you know. Don't you feel ashamed?
Are you making fun of me? Do you have any idea of the gravity of the situation you're in? My wife's lying in a hospital bed right now after you ran her over because you were playing around on your phone instead of looking at the road. That would be bad enough on its own, but on top of that, you've ignored us for a whole 4 days and didn't show up to visit her in hospital once. Do you feel even an ounce of remorse for what you did?
These things happen. It's not like I had a great time of it myself. I got injured and had to go to the hospital too, you know. I was super busy. I just haven't had the time to visit. It's not that I didn't want to.
I know all about the extent of your injuries. You have a slight graze on your forehead, and that's it. You didn't even need to be admitted. You went home the same day, didn't you? It's been 4 days since then. There's no way you haven't had a chance to come.
Even still, it's not like I have a duty to visit her. I mean, why would I? I'd visit my friends if I ran them over, but you guys are strangers to me. If she wasn't dawdling around the crosswalk like that, I wouldn't have hit her in the first place. I've seen faster snails. Yeah, that's right. The accident was her fault.
What?
Plus, she's injured me too. So we're both in the same boat here. Would you just cut it out already? This is old news now.
It only happened 4 days ago. It is most definitely not old news. You were so distracted by your phone, you ran my wife over right in the middle of a crossing after running a red light. Who the hell do you think you are, speaking about her like that? You broke Matilda's leg!
So what? Bones heal, you know. She'll be fine before long. Just think of it as an opportunity for her to read books and learn sewing or something. Take a chill pill, sheesh. Plus, she's alive, isn't she? What's the big deal? Hopefully, she learned her lesson and drives more safely from now on. Did you know the doctor told me I might have a small scar on my forehead for the rest of my life after this? A small scar! Isn't that just, like, the worst? Don't you feel guilty? What's more important? Some random old woman's leg or my beautiful face? That's a rhetorical question, by the way. You will be paying me if it scars, won't you?
You've gotta be kidding me. Us? Pay you? The only reason you grazed your forehead is because you panicked and swerved into a guardrail after you realized you'd hit my wife. How dare you play the victim? You should be ashamed of yourself, young lady. You don't show any remorse, you don't apologize, yet you have the nerve to demand money from the victim? Just what exactly are you hoping to achieve with this disgraceful attitude of yours?
A disgraceful attitude? I don't know what you mean.
It's considered the right and proper thing to do for the perpetrator to visit the victim in hospital and apologize sincerely in these kinds of situations. Have you no humanity? The only one who should be paying compensation and medical bills is you. Have you no conception of any of this? Where are your morals, young lady?
You can whine at me as much as you want, but I don't have any money to give you. I can't pay you something that doesn't exist. So sorry, but not sorry.
I told you to stop screwing me around! Is there no limit to your selfishness? How can you still think this is a joke? I'll be reporting this to your parents and college.
Hey, don't do that. That'd be a real nuisance for me. My mom would be so mad if she knew I wrecked the car. That's it. I just thought of, the best idea of all time. Tell me, old man, how old are you?
What? Where did that come from?
Forget that. Just tell me, how old are you?
34. What does that have to do with anything? Don't try and change the subject.
Wow, 34? Don't forget your Zimmer frame, old man. Maybe it's not too old, though. Okay, I think I can allow it. Okay, here's the idea, old man. So, about the accident the other day, I'm willing to go on a date with you if you agree to forget all about it. One whole day with me! How does that sound?
What?
I'm free all day this Saturday. So I'm willing to go on a date with you if that's what it takes to get you to shut up, Gramps. So, what do you think? You'll go out with me and then we could just forget about what happened, can't we? We can, can't we? Lol.
What on earth are you talking about? I don't understand.
Your mind must be slowing down with your old age. Let me make it super easy to understand. If you let me off the hook and drop all this stuff about money over the accident the other day, I'll go on a date with you. One whole day that you get to spend with me. You should be counting your lucky stars. Chances like this don't come around for guys your age every day. Don't you think it sounds great? You get to hang out with a hot college student all day.
How many times do I have to tell you to stop messing around? Cut it out already! I'm serious! Are you a total moron? There's no way you can make up for what you did to my wife with something like that! How preposterous! I refuse!
Are you sure? I mean, are you really, really sure? How often do you get the chance to hang out with a hot college student? Not often, I'm guessing. Lol. We can do whatever you want for the whole day. Anything.
You really should know when to stop. I'm running out of patience with you. Hanging out with you wouldn't pay my wife's medical bills, nor would it heal her broken leg. All I want is to see some sincerity.
Duh, that's why I'm offering you the chance to go on a date with me. I'm sincerely asking you out on a date, lol. I'm offering you a date out of the goodness of my heart because you seem upset, lol. Surely that's the very definition of sincerity, lol. Plus, if your wife's leg's broken, that means she won't be moving around for a while. Which means you're gonna end up all kinds of frustrated, if you catch my drift. It's unhealthy to let that kind of energy build up, old man, and I'm kindly offering to help out. One thing's for sure, I look a damn sight better than that old hag, lol. Oh, is this why you don't want to go on a date with me? You're so old, it doesn't work anymore? This is too hilarious.
That's enough! I'm taking you to court!
What?
I've been waiting and waiting, sitting tight this whole time waiting for the phone to ring, thinking you would phone us about settling out of court. But nothing came. Now I contact you and this is how you behave? Do you think I'm just going to take your insulting my injured wife lying down? I'll be filing criminal charges against you, so you get the punishment you deserve. You'll be hearing from my lawyer over the coming days. Prepare yourself.
Huh? I don't understand what that means, Gramps. Criminal charges? What's that? I know. You're trying to scare me by using big, fancy words. Well, it's not gonna work. Lol.
If you don't understand, I suggest you go and do some research, because reality is going to come knocking on your door very soon. Or are you so lacking in common sense that even something as simple as that is impossible? If you don't figure it out now, your future is going to be ripped away from you in the blink of an eye, and you're not even going to understand how it happened. Why? Because you'll have a criminal record, and you'll owe huge sums of money. And you know what? That's fine by me. I have no intention of negotiating a settlement with you now. I won't sign any petitions for sentence reduction, no matter how much you beg me. I'll see to it that you don't get away with this if it's the last thing I do.
No, please, wait. I just looked it up. If I get a criminal record, that means I'll be a criminal. I'm gonna be a criminal. Me? No, that isn't the life I want to have. Please, wait. And what do you mean by losing my future and owing huge sums of money? That sounds bad.
How do you not understand what I mean? Are you genuinely stupid? Did you accidentally buy a plank of wood instead of a phone? Investigate it by yourself. Maybe if you do, you'll finally realize how serious this situation is.
I looked up what criminal charges means and stuff about severe punishments, sentencing, and prison started coming up. Plus, there were tons of links about compensation payments. Does that mean what I think it means? You have got to be joking me! Like, oh my god, this can't be happening! Me in prison? Please tell me you're bluffing!
I'm not joking, and I'm not bluffing either. In fact, I've never been more serious about anything. Not only did you run over and severely injure my wife, but you responded with the most childish, insolent, disrespectful attitude I've ever seen in a human being. Do you think for one moment I'm going to let you get away with that? Even if you just pretended to be remorseful, even if you just put on an act of being sorry, you are still barely in your 20s, which basically makes you a child. And I would have been willing to discuss settlement out of court. But no, you had to push. You had to be cocky, to be arrogant, to insult me and my wife. Well, if that's how you want to play this, then I swear I will fight you to the last!
No, just wait. I'll be in big trouble if you do that. It says online that it's hard for people with criminal records to find work. Mom said she'll kick me out if I don't find a job when I graduate college. Ugh. Plus, it says I may have to pay tens of thousands of dollars in compensation. I don't have that kind of money. I don't even know if my mom and dad have that much. Just because I may have lightly brushed your wife as I went past her in the car? Why?
What? How are you somehow suddenly surprised? You wouldn't discuss any kind of settlement. Your attitude's been a disgrace from the outset. You did practically everything you could to make me as angry as possible. You were as good as asking me to take you to court.
I never asked you to do that. All I did was offer to go on a date with you instead of paying compensation. The offer still stands, by the way. How about that date? Let me off the hook and we can go for pizza and drinkies, baby.
How many times do I have to tell you I'm not interested in going on a date with you? I hate stupid, vulgar women like you! I'm instinctually repulsed by the idea of letting you off the hook for running over and breaking my wife's leg by going on a date. Besides, it's not me you need to apologize to. It's my wife!
I get it. I'll apologize to her, I swear. Which hospital is she at? I'll pay you the settlement money, too. Just name your figure. I can get a hold of it. Please, just don't take me to court. Anything but court.
Too little, too late. I already told you we're past the point of apologies and settlement negotiations. From now on, I'm dedicating my life to ensure you get the heaviest punishment possible. I have nothing more to say to you. All further communications will be sent through my lawyer. Expect to hear from him soon. And like I said before, prepare yourself!
Just stop it already! I told you, I'm sorry! Do you have any idea how much trouble I'll be in if you file criminal charges against me? I'll tell my dad if you do it! I swear I will! Believe me, you don't want to see my dad when he's angry!
If you think you have something you need to tell him, then tell him! In any case, I plan on reporting this to your parents anyway, so it's probably in your best interests that he hear it from you first. I'll tell them all about how their daughter ran over my wife, then tried getting out of paying compensation or medical bills by offering to go on a date with me, the victim's husband. Mark my words, by the time I'm finished, they'll know full well what a terrible person their daughter is.
No, don't do it! Please don't tell my dad! He'll get mad at me! He'll stop paying for me to go to college! I'm begging you, please hear me out!
I'm afraid I can't do that. I can feel my IQ drop every time you speak. See you in court. After that, I blocked all contact from Aubrey Anderson. Then I left everything else to my lawyer. I don't know whether it's because they heard from my lawyer, but Aubrey's parents showed up at the hospital with faces as white as sheets. But no longer having any interest in apologies or settlement negotiations, we had the nurses tell them we weren't taking visitors and sent them on their way. The result? Aubrey Anderson was found guilty in court. The judge ordered her to pay us a whopping $40,000 in compensation and medical bills. Her parents were no longer willing to cover her tuition fees, so she was forced to drop out of college, and to add insult to injury, they kicked her out of the house and cut off all ties with her. She really was an irredeemable fool. Thankfully, my wife's leg healed nicely, and she made a full recovery. She was able to return to her normal life, pretty much unchanged from how it was before, and I'm very relieved about that.
Hey, Victoria. How have you been? It's been a long time since we last spoke. I was just wondering if you were doing fine.
Theodore? Yeah, it really has been a long time. I'm fine. Actually, I'm doing much better without you. So, what do you want? You've got a lot of nerve talking to me after everything you did. It's already been months since you left, and suddenly you want to have a chat? Just to let you know, I'm not interested in catching up or making up with you.
I just want to know how you've been doing recently, that's all. You don't have to be so defensive. You must be feeling lonely living all by yourself in that house without me, right? You can't have completely forgotten about me already.
Lonely? That's a joke. I stopped feeling lonely 3 seconds after you walked out the door. Honestly, I felt more angry and sad. But it's already been months. I'm not sad about you anymore. I'm disappointed and still angry enough to not want to have anything to do with you. But otherwise, I'm doing really well. I'm grateful to our lawyers that our divorce went so smoothly, and that it was all over so quickly. Thanks to that, I didn't have to meet you in court like I expected I would.
All right, I'm kind of shocked. It was not as I expected. I thought that you would still feel something for me. I mean, it's only been 6 months, you know? You can't have gotten over me that quickly, can you? I kind of feel like we've really grown apart. I feel like there's a massive distance between us now. We used to be husband and wife, and we were in love. And we lived together and ate dinner together. But look at us now. We're so far apart.
What's your point? Theodore, I told you that I'm not interested in talking to you. That includes getting nostalgic about how things used to be. What do you expect? I don't know where you're living right now, but of course, we're very far apart, physically and emotionally. We are divorced, and we're never going to see each other ever again. We are complete strangers now. You're no different to any stranger I pass on the street. The difference between you and a stranger is that I would rather have a conversation with any random person rather than speak with you.
Victoria, don't be so cold. You don't have to be so harsh towards me. I used to be your husband.
The keywords are used to be. Get it? That was until you won the lottery and suddenly started acting like you were better than me. Yeah, it was a lot of money. But I don't understand how you could have changed so much in just a matter of hours. You threw me away on the day you won the lottery, and you're telling me that I'm being cold? I don't have anything to say, and I have no intention of being kind to an idiot like you.
Trust me, I feel really bad for what I did. I know I've been an idiot. That's why I messaged you today. I did something terrible, but I wish you could just talk to me. I'm really sorry I hurt your feelings. I thought about what I did since then, and I've reflected on my actions. I regret ever doing something so stupid and impulsive. I should have been more rational when we were talking about the winnings, and shouldn't have reacted like that. No, I should have listened to what you said more carefully. You were being so reasonable about what to do with the money. And I wrecked our marriage because I was so selfish. I regret all of that and more.
The fact that you're saying that now means that you're in the situation I predicted you'd end up in all those months ago, right? I hate to rub it in, but I told you so. I can't believe it took you so long to realize how wrong you were. I could see it coming from a mile away. But I guess you just had to experience it firsthand.
I know I was stupid, and I'm sorry. I finally realized that you warned me that this would happen for my sake. I was too blinded by the money to understand that you were only thinking of me. I wish I could go back in time and change everything, but I can't. I was so stupid, and I regret it all.
Yeah, you were so stupid and horrible, too. I get that winning $3 million is a big deal. It's a lot of money. And it's not every day that such a large amount of money comes into your hands. I think anyone would panic and get big ideas about how they want to spend their newfound fortune. I was pretty shocked too, and I won't lie. I thought about all the amazing things we could buy. But the way you reacted was abnormal. Once you knew you had the winning ticket, nothing else mattered to you. You only cared about yourself and the money.
I wasn't thinking straight. It was like I was in a dream state. I couldn't help myself.
You know, I pitched this pretty reasonable plan for the cash windfall we hit, thinking we'd stash away a good chunk for our future and keep a bit for potential kiddos down the road. I wasn't eyeing your wallet. I definitely didn't talk about splurging it all on myself. But then you went off, yelling that it was your dough, and I couldn't touch a dime, insisting that it was for you to blow however you pleased. I never had any plans to grab a slice, but that's what you assumed. And then, like a poof of magic, you vanished, taking the money with you. You didn't even bother answering my texts until those divorce papers showed up. Even then, your only offer was alimony if I signed on the dotted line. 3 years of us went straight down the drain the second that cash rolled in, turning you into someone I didn't even recognize. I spent weeks mulling over what those 3 years meant to you, wondering if they meant anything at all. Eventually, I stopped dwelling on it, realizing I'd already blown 3 years and shouldn't waste any more time trying to figure you out.
I know I was completely at fault. But it was $3 million. Neither of us had even had a tenth of that amount in our banks at one time. You can imagine why I went so crazy, can't you?
Yeah, it's a lot of money, but that doesn't excuse your behavior. You ranted at me that my parents might come and beg you for the money because they're so poor, and that you couldn't trust anyone anymore. You were insulting me and my family with every word you said because you had all this money. You had this ridiculous idea that you were better than all of us. I never knew you could be so hurtful and obnoxious. And I was shocked that you could change so easily because of some money.
I don't know what got into me. I don't really know why I said any of that. I didn't mean it. You know that, don't you? I regret everything I did and said after that. I wish I could take it all back.
Really? It sounded like you meant it at the time. Don't try and run away from what you did. It's way too late for you to start begging me for forgiveness. I couldn't care any less about how guilty you feel. Your feeling bad isn't going to change anything. Anyway, what do you want? Let's get this over with.
What are you talking about?
There's a reason why you messaged me today, right? You didn't just message to apologize.
No, really, I was genuinely concerned about you. I wanted to prove that I'd changed and felt remorse for my past actions. Plus, I admit I was a bit curious about what you did with the money I handed over during our divorce. Just wanted to know how you spent it, you know?
Money? That's what piqued your interest? You're referring to the lump sum you coughed up instead of opting for regular alimony payments, right? Because you were keen on avoiding lifelong alimony, as I recall.
Yeah, I handed you $200,000, didn't I?
Sure did. What's it to you?
What'd you do with it?
It's my money, Theodore. What I did with it is my business. You didn't slap any conditions on it when the court settled the amount.
Well, it was my money originally. I figure I have a right to know what happened to it, and maybe have a say in it, regardless of what the court decides. And if you've got any left, I was kinda hoping you could kick it back. You always were the smart one with money. Thought maybe you'd still be swimming in it.
Hold on. You can't seriously be asking for it back? No way. I'm not parting with it. Yeah, it was yours when you had it. But once you handed it over as compensation, it became mine. Ever heard of the word compensate? I was entitled to alimony after you dropped the divorce bomb, but you weren't keen on that. And I didn't fancy a never-ending court drama. So, I took that lump sum, and I don't owe you a penny back.
Sure, it was compensation, but I could afford to be generous at the time because I had a boatload of cash. But things are tight now, and I need some financial help. It'd be a lifesaver if you could toss it back my way. Technically, it's my money, so I shouldn't even have to ask.
Trouble? I moved on and got hitched after our divorce. Oh, the rumors were true? Congrats. So, how's married life treating you?
She hightailed it with all my money. I should have never married her.
What? All of it?
Can you believe it? $3 million. And I thought I'd hit the jackpot, set for life, you know? I imagined living the high life, Hollywood style. So, I said goodbye to the 9-to-5, had this swanky house built for me and the new missus, loaded it up with all kinds of designer swag, and even threw in a pool for good measure. We were all geared up for the ultimate dream of life together. Then, out of nowhere, she drops the bomb. Divorce. When the dust settles, I wake up to find all my hard-earned cash gone. Transferred to her account. Divorced? and my bank balance is looking like a ghost town. She disappeared, claiming I'd been cheating on her, a total lie. During the divorce, I get hit with $1 million in false affair compensation, and she swoops in to clean off the rest of my account without me even catching wind of it. I've got no clue where she is now, but last I heard, she's kicking back in a penthouse abroad. Talk about a roller coaster ride from heaven to hell.
You said you never cheated on her, but she managed to win the court case. That must have meant that she had enough evidence to argue for compensation. You can try and act the victim all you like, but in the end, it was your own fault. Your own irresponsible actions brought all this upon you.
Yeah, fine. She got pictures of me with another woman. But how is it fair that she gets $1 million in the divorce? It's my money.
So you did cheat on her after all. You're a pathetic excuse for a husband.
Yeah, all right. Say all you like. Anyway, that's not my point. I've explained why I need the money. Can you give me back the money I gave you? I need it right now. My ex-wife got the house in the divorce too, so I don't have anywhere to live. She's not even using it. She's abroad. The woman bought it out for sale, and I was kicked out of my own house so that she could sell it and take more money from me. Victoria, you still living in the same place we lived in when we were married, right? Can we live together again?
Excuse me? Are you asking if you can move in with me?
Let's just forget about everything that happened in the past and live together. I want us to start over. I'll be a better husband this time. Even if we don't have the $3 million, I know that we can be happy together. I still love you. We can work through this together. I swear I'll make you happy this time.
No way. You must be out of your mind. It's disgusting how you think you can slither your way back into my life again. We are over, and we are never getting back together. Ever. The divorce was finalized, and I'm free of you. I don't have anything else to say to you. Plus, I've already moved out of that house and sold it. I'm living somewhere else.
Why do you move down? Where are you living now? Are you still close by?
I'm not giving you the details of where, but I'll tell you a bit about it. Thanks to the compensation I got from you, I was able to buy some pretty reasonable shares. I had to be patient, but it went really well. I managed to earn a profit from it.
You bought shares? I never knew that you knew how to do that kind of stuff. Why didn't you tell me when I had the $3 million? We could have made an even bigger fortune.
Come on, Theodore. Don't be naive. It was just a stroke of beginner's luck. And no, I didn't dump the entire $200,000 you handed me into buying shares. I put in a reasonable amount, caught a lucky break, and when the profits rolled in, I played it smart by squirreling away every dime in a savings account. Now, I'm working a 9-to-5 gig, using the money I've saved to indulge a bit. I opt for organic stuff, treat myself to things I love, and still have a nice safety net for any rainy days. Sure, it might not boast designer furniture like your place, but it's home. I quickly learned that impulse buying with the mountain of money is a recipe for disaster. So, I'm being selective about what I spend on. Only the necessities and things I truly want. Work's going great too, so everything's sailing smoothly. I wasn't kidding when I said I'm better off without you. Truth be told, I'm thankful you hit the lottery jackpot and had the decency to drop the divorce bomb when you did. If not, I'd still be stuck with you.
Wait, you're rocking a penthouse too? No way! I never thought you'd hit the success jackpot so quickly. It's only been 6 months since we split. But damn, that's the cash you're standing on. And my other exes, they're probably living large, all thanks to me.
It's money we were rightfully owed. I can't say much about the cash she swiped from your account, except maybe it's just karma doing its thing. So, how much do you have saved up now?
About $200.
Seriously? You're turning 36 this year, right? No place to crash, no job, and just $200 saved? I feel sorry for you, but I know it's all your own doing. What's your game plan from here?
Got kicked out of my own place last week. Job hunting's been a bust so far. I figured I could sell the house. But my other ex snagged it in the divorce. So I'm left with zilch to sell. Failed a job interview already, and I'm at a loss. So I decided to hit you up, hoping you could lend a hand.
Are you insane? What about your parents? Why don't you ask them to let you stay with them while you find a place of your own and a job?
Some idiots in my parents' neighborhood found out that I won $3 million and started harassing them. Most of it was really childish, throwing toilet paper around. But they were getting death threats in the mail and stuff too. Some magazines are asking for interviews nonstop. My parents ended up moving away, and they cut ties with me. I need your help, Victoria. I don't have anyone else.
You're the idiot, Theodore. That's the reason why I warned you about bragging about your win to everyone. Just because you won $3 million doesn't make you better than everyone else. I told you that you shouldn't get carried away, didn't I? But you didn't listen. And you lost a lot of friends. And made a lot of enemies in the process.
I know, I regret a lot of what I did. I regret not listening to you the most. Because none of this would have happened if I just did as you said. That's why I want to get back together again. I need you to keep me in check.
Sorry, Theodore, but I'm not interested in being your babysitter. We're never getting back together. There's not even a 1% chance of it happening.
Why not? I'm not asking you to be my babysitter. I want us to be husband and wife again. We didn't get divorced because we stopped loving each other. You still love me, don't you? We can get back together again.
You must be joking. You're the only one that thinks that we still have a chance. I don't know whether you actually still have any feelings for me, or if you're just saying all this because you want money. But either way, it doesn't change how I feel about you. The second you said you wanted a divorce, I hated you from the bottom of my heart. You chose your money over me. You made that really clear during the divorce. Now, I'm indifferent. I couldn't care less about what happens to you.
Don't say that. That hurts more than being told you hate me. Please, I'm begging you for help. Could you at least have some pity for me? I need your help. We used to be married, remember? We spent 3 years living in the same house. We can forget about everything and start a new life together.
No thanks. You're the one who asked for a divorce, despite the 3 years we spent together. So don't bring it up as a reason to get back together.
Then could you at least send me some money? That's all I asked for. You said you've got money saved up. You can spare some, can't you? You made that money because of the money I gave you. You owe me. Come on, I don't even have a place to live. I'm begging you, Victoria. Help me out. I don't have anyone else to turn to.
I don't have any obligation to help you. You won $3 million, and you told me that you didn't trust me with your money, saying that I might waste it all on shopping sprees. Only God knows where you got the idea I would do that. You said you wanted to spend it how you liked, and demanded I sign the divorce papers. And you left, taking all your money with you. Well, I'm telling you now that I'm free to spend the money I have however I like, including the money I got as compensation. I don't have a single cent to give you.
Then what am I supposed to do? The reason why you have so much money right now is because of the money I gave you. Don't you feel any gratitude towards me? You could at least give something back as thanks. It's not fair that you're living in a penthouse apartment and have money saved and still have a job. I don't have anything. How can I accept that?
Why should I care whether you accept it or not? You were living in a house filled with designer items and lived the celebrity life for a few months, didn't you? I hear that your new wife was quite beautiful too. You didn't have to work and spent your days relaxing, sleeping, and eating, I guess. Do you remember what you told me when you left me? You said that you were rich and that you deserved better than a boring old woman like me, even though we're the same age. Even though you would be just as boring without money. You said that you were going to find someone younger and prettier. Someone who would suit your newfound fortune. Do you think I would forget that you said that?
I don't remember saying anything like that at all. But hey, I'm sorry. I really am. I wasn't myself then. I didn't think that at all. I've never thought anything like that. I didn't think I was being serious. Did you? Ever since we got divorced, I've been thinking about you. I just want to get back together. I realized after spending a few months living with my other wife that the only one for me was you. I need you, Victoria.
Really? You need me? Thanks. I'm so flattered.
Is that all you have to say? I'm begging you here. Just listen to what I have to say, please. Can't you be a little interested just for a minute? I just need $1,000. That's all. I won't ask for any more than that. I'll pay you back. Victoria, are you listening to me? If I have $1,000, I can buy lottery tickets again. I win a fortune, and I'll be able to give you all the money you want.
You've got to be kidding. I guess it's true that money drives people crazy. You hear a lot in the news about how people spent their winnings on something ridiculous. But I think you've outdone all of them. I've never heard of anyone who had to beg their ex for money to bet their chances on a second win. If you think that's the way out of your problems, then there's no helping you.
What do you mean there's no helping me? You can help me. I just need money. We can fix everything if we get back together and help each other through this. I want to start over with you. I love you. Don't you love me back? Don't you feel sorry for me?
You don't love me. You just love that I have something you don't. My money. And I don't need anything to be fixed. My life is great as it is now. It's not perfect yet, but you're not the one that will make it perfect. You need to learn how to fix your behavior and fix your problems yourself. Don't bother me anymore.
I do love you. I only have you. Give me back my money.
It's not yours. I made this money because of the decisions I made. You lost yours because of the decisions you didn't think through. Don't ever message or call me ever again, you asshole. Let me give you the same parting gift you gave me. I deserve better than a boring old man like you. I'm going to find someone who loves me and live happily ever after without you. I'll be blocking your number, so don't try and contact me. Goodbye.
No, wait. I'm sorry. Please help me, Victoria. Don't leave me.
After that, Victoria blocked Theodore's number and blocked him and all of the social networking that they were connected on. Victoria was able to forget about Theodore pretty easily and was enjoying her peaceful life without him. She was living her ideal life, focusing on her career and coming home to the apartment she had taken care of to furnish with things she loved. Theodore, however, had used up what remained of his savings and still couldn't pass an interview because of his obvious lack of work ethic. He didn't change his attitude and blamed the interviewers for not passing him. As a result, he started borrowing money from loan sharks, and with that money, he began gambling at his nearest casino. Of course, it wasn't that easy to make a fortune, and the gambling only made his debt bigger and bigger. He was digging his own grave, but he still didn't change his attitude. After realizing how big his debt had gotten, he became desperate. But instead of trying for another job interview, he tried to steal money from a convenience store and was caught by the police. Victoria found out about Theodore's arrest on the morning news, but was too indifferent to care. She only remarked that money really does drive people crazy, and went on about her day, as she usually would. Theodore was just another stranger to her now.